Right, if you could all take your seats, then we'll get the second half of tonight's business underway. Anyway, good evening to you all. I want to welcome everyone to the Hanworth Area Forum. I hope you've all fed well. If you raided the kitchen, that's the first place to go. I thank you to all the organisation and council officers who've attended the marketplace. They've a lot of work that they've put in and picking up on any of the points that residents may have. I also thank you to the residents who have taken the time to attend the forum this evening, and I hope you found the information available at the marketplace useful and helpful. Thank you to the London Larder for the food and drinks provided, and I look forward to hearing more about your organisation later in Community Spotlight. Right, I'm going to move on now and take any apologies for absence? No. No? Have we had any? Have you had any, Jody? No? No? We seem to be all here? Yep. Oh. Right. I'll just talk to members. If you've got any items, declaration of interest, any item on the agenda, if you wish to speak to anything in particular, but you'll all be given the chance anyway, so. Okay. I don't know, have we received any other communications from members? No. Right, we've got the minutes of the meeting held on the 16th of September. God, it doesn't seem to be that long ago, does it? Sorry, is there any item anybody wishes to raise on those minutes? Yeah. We go for accuracy, starting with page 1. Who's got that? That's this one. Got so many bits of paper. Right, if there's anything that anybody wishes to challenge on the minutes of the last meeting about its accuracy, by all means do so now. Yeah, there are somewhere around. There's.
It's not around. They're just in the agenda pack.
Sorry.
Agenda pack for the members to agree for accuracy.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm told that there aren't any out there. I don't know why. So I need to ask the members. The minutes of the meeting on the 13th of March. No, that's the minutes of the last one. So.
16th of September.
16th
Yeah.
of September.
So. I'd like to get my agenda. So we've had no apologies for absence, have we? In the other community. And we agree the minutes.
Yep.
16th of September. Yeah.
Agree.
Any matters arising?
Yeah, so
Sorry?
if I could quickly go through some of the questions from the open forum where there's been an update.
You haven't, I'm sorry, you saying you have or you haven't?
Yes. Let's go through the questions. The open forum questions.
Yeah, Jyoti have matter arising. Yeah.
Right, so we agreed the minutes, so we've got any matters arising?
Right, so just a few updates from minutes 5, open forum, matters arising. A question about one of the questions in the resident survey, which has now been removed from the survey altogether. The resident that asked about how the action points are noted for the last meeting. We've implemented this section where updates will be given in matters arising. We also have items which are on the action plan, and we also have a Let's Talk Hounslow page where you can see minutes and updates on action plan items. Please see a community development staff member for the address. On the report on the state of the pavement between the Scout Hut and Tesco's, there's been a ward walk arranged, and this has been reported on Fix My Street. Regarding traffic being directed down Victoria Road to ease the traffic congestion in the general area, there has been a response sent to the resident and community safety. And prior to asking this question, if the resident does not feel the query is resolved, please speak with traffic at hounslow.gov.uk. Regarding the use of Godfrey Way by lorries coming off the A316, there's an update for this in the traffic update section of Matters Arising, which Emily is going to give you. Regarding the progress of parking bays, pavement parking in Raleigh Way, also an update in traffic updates that Emily is going to give you. The one about the garage blocking the road by the post box is another update in traffic updates. And then the one regarding the bus service, the H25 and 290 crossing the roads there. Hounslow Highways met with the resident in the location last week to confirm issues and concerns, and Hounslow Highways have confirmed that arrangements will be made to clear the visibility and ask TfL to make the speed limit clear to drivers when exiting the A316. Regarding the street lights by Muller Roundabout, the majority of lights have now been repaired, and if they do not work once the cable has been repaired, Hounslow Highways will follow up with TfL to repair the out-of-service lights. Apparently they were out because of a cable that was faulty. Regarding the pavement damage outside new flats in Victoria Road, we're still waiting for a response on that one. And that is all we have. Thank you. And Emily's got some traffic updates, Matters Arising. Thanks. Yeah.
His name's not Mike.
We are. Thank you. So I'm just going to read these traffic updates out for our traffic colleagues, if that's okay. Obviously, I'm not a traffic officer. A lot of you know me already. If you've got questions about these updates, you can contact me in the community development team, but we advise you speak directly to traffic, and I can give you the team contact that's dealing with these updates. So first one, green lane speeding and traffic calming. This one is going to be a lot of these updates, just to say, go across these three items. So we are going to say, this one's on the action plan, this one's on the traffic update, and there is going to be a meeting after both Bedfont and Feltham and Hanworth forums to streamline this, because we've had a lot of traffic updates to provide across both West forums. So thanks for bearing with us. So green lane speeding and traffic calming is an action plan item, and that'll be done later in the agenda. Swan Road crossing request is also an action plan item. Pavement parking issues at Bear Road shops. So obviously we are aware, for those that live in the area, that the bollards have been implemented successfully. Again, there is a small update from Councillor Foote later during the action plan, which is based on residents' suggestions for planters and signage and what we're doing with the landowner there. The next one is Hounslow Road speeding. Police undertook 2 further speed checks in September, and there is a fuller update from Councillor Joseph in the action plan. Next one's DPD vans. This is closed now. If you have any more issues, as noted in the September forum regarding DPD, the contacts are in the minutes, but you can also contact your councillors or me in community development, and we will give you the DPD contact directly. The next one is Knollhead Road. This was about speeding. This was logged with police in September, and there was lots of residents, councillors. You know, we've spoken to a lot of people within the community that have been telling us about these issues. This, the Green Lane speeding, the Hounslow Road speeding, obviously it's sort of a bit of a junction across the Hanworth village area. There is a fuller update, as I said, in the action plan, but we're working with police, LBH colleagues, and traffic and parking services to make sure we get those speed surveys in place. Green Lane, again, the traffic speeding, that's in the action plan. Forest Road fly tipping. As far as we are aware, the fly tipping in Forest Road has been cleared. If this is not the case, please speak to me before you leave, as we'll raise this again with ward improvement. Where are we? Sorry, Browse Lane. There's lots of improvements going on Browse Lane at the moment. I think some of them are due to highways repairs. If you feel that the potholes need reassessing, please raise this on Fix My Street. We can give you the link for Fix My Street. Please come and see me or one of the community development team afterwards, and we can show you how to report that firsthand. The next one is Winslow Way. Unfortunately, I'm not sure whether any of the residents of Winslow Way are here at the moment, but we are super happy to say that it has been resurfaced, which is a success. That's not me receiving that clap. I did not resurface it, guys. There was a question about the speed cushions being spaced too far apart between Bear Road and Hounslow Road. I think we still need to follow that up with the resident just to check exactly where they mean and see whether this is a TfL or a highways road. There's some questions which again relate to TfL roads which we need to follow up on, unfortunately. Some of them are junctions on the A314. The next one is Swan Road. That's the parking outside the shop again. That is also an action plan item. I'm just flicking back through. The next one is the buses and congestion in Hanworth Village, Swan Road and surrounding areas during school times. So residents and councillors have raised that the school buses cause a lot of issues during this time. Councillor Foote again does have a bit of a generic update on this. Unfortunately, we're still trying to make headways into the correct contacts for the schools. So we need to find a schools liaison or a traffic contact within the school or the Richmond Hampton Council so that we can have a proper conversation about how this can potentially be changed if it can, because we know there's a huge knock-on effect for the residents of Hanworth Village and surrounds. Swan Road. I think, where am I at? That might be all of them for the moment. If you think we have missed something off those updates from last forum, please do speak to your councillor or me or the clerk at the end. But thank you for listening.
Right. Yeah, a couple of things to add to that. The pavement parking that we have around the Swan shopping precinct, that's had some work done on it, not to my satisfaction. It needs quite a bit more work to be done to tidy it up. It's a bit mucky. So I'd rather see, it should be a place where residents of Hanworth, especially the group, that live at that end of Swan Road where you're going up to shop, that perhaps we're trying to get some seats in there. So if they want to sit down and have a chat with each other, they can do, and and just make it look a bit tidier. The gardens at the moment are totally overgrown and looking shabby. So it's really something that we want some work done, because it really is the centre of the old Hanworth Village. So it really should show itself off a bit more. So I'm hoping that if I keep pushing, I'm going to get what I want done. Can I just say this? Yeah, the Lime bikes. I know that they've been a problem, but they don't come under the council, so it's not something the council can deal with. But people just leaving them in piles on pavements is something that's really is a danger, and we're aware of, and the council's taking it up with the people who do operate the line bikes to try and make sure that we're not getting them dumped there and being a danger to residents. I picked up Swan Road, didn't I? We've got buses coming up Swan Road. That's the one there is the school buses that are going to Hampton Grammar and the three schools in Hampton, which come up through Swan Road and up Hampton Lane, etc. I'm sure that actually, my memory served me right, the schools can be accessed from the other side. So if they came up to the roundabout and came into Hampton that way, they could be accessing the schools there. They don't need to come all the way up up Swan Road and Hampton Lane. They could go around the other way and stay on the main roads and go into the back entrance to the schools. So it's something that we're trying to take up with them, but we're not getting a lot of response from them at the moment. But hopefully, if we persist, we will get somewhere. That's my update, I think. So let's move on. Where are we? Yeah, sorry, I'm there, yeah. Right, we now move to the open forum. So this is where residents can raise any issues they'd like to bring to the attention of councillors. I'd like to note the following guidelines. Members of the public may raise matters of local concern. Please bear in mind the guidelines for public participation, and it may not be possible to have detailed discussion or responses at this meeting. Points raised will be noted and used to inform the work of the area forum. So I'm going to open up there and ask if there is any. Right, there you are, yeah.
Gentle reminder, we've missed the Lime Bike update. It should be there in front of you.
Sorry?
The Lime Bike update. We need to read the Lime Bike update first, if that's okay. I think you've got it, Councillor Cameron.
Councillor Cameron is.
Yeah, the Lime Bikes update, yeah, this one, the summary. Yeah, that's what I brought to the attention, saying that they, you know, that there's still lobbying to get powers alongside TfL and other authorities to try and deal with it. Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, Councillor Cameron's going to read the update in full.
Yeah, okay.
Can I read all this?
Yes,
Yeah, go on.
before we start the open forum.
Thank you, Chair. There is a Lime bike update from traffic colleagues. And Area 3 of the Lime bike scheme is currently underway, which will consider data from Lime and feedback from residents. This will be shared with ward members for comment in the coming weeks once complete. Once it is recognized that the scheme is not perfect, it must be recognized that local authorities currently have minimal legislative power to control e-bike operations and cannot stop them from operating entirely. The council is currently lobbying for these powers alongside TfL and other authorities. In the meantime, it is considered that the scheme we have put in place allows a better degree of control than the previous authorized operations by Lime. Lime do have a discipline policy in place to reduce the volume of abandoned bikes, and the council is also undertaking its own check to allow us to hold Lime to account. The council are in support of the recent TfL announcement in relation to operations on red routes, TfL land, and will monitor this closely. Officers are also working with the police and Lime to address the issues in Feltham Town Centre. The council agreement with Lime sets out operator response time, indicating how quickly the operator is expected to respond to issue such as misparked or damaged bicycles. Where a Lime bike is damaged, not operational, but not causing any obstruction, it must be removed within 24 hours from the time of receipt of notification and repaired before returning to the fleet. Where a Lime bike presents a danger or obstruction, it must be removed within 2 hours from the time of receipt of notification. Officers monitor Lime data on response time, and to date, Lime has been meeting the required timelines. Thank you. Yeah.
There's a question, yeah?
It's question regarding the line bike.
Yeah, you've got your hand up. Yeah, you asking a question? Yes. Yeah.
Question for Lime or question for the open forum? Which one are we doing? Sorry? 1 second, Nick.
Right after this, we have open forum, so.
Yeah, we have the open forum. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly.
So-
Hands down, I've got you. Questions on Lime first.
Any question regarding the Lime bikes?
Yeah, come in. Thanks, Ruth.
Hi, good evening, councillors. So I did email you, Richard, a while ago asking about the dedicated bays that are set up for Lime bikes are often vacant and they're taken up. I'm a car driver, unfortunately, for the planet, but, you know, not everyone rides a bike everywhere, and sometimes the bays are not, there's not a single bike in the bay, but they are using parking spaces for local shops, which are also now being used by delivery drivers, and half of them are flooded as well. So how is the council monitoring the use of the bays, and are you going to remove bays that aren't being properly used for Lime bike use, I think is my question.
Thank you. Yeah. Over to Abdul.
Thank you. So we know the Lime bikes have just started enforcing. So as far as our understanding is, Lime bike needs to be taken from its bay, designated bay, and needs to be returned to back to a designated bay. Once they park the Lime bike, they should be taking a picture, uploading on the app. Most of these kids that are running around and parking everywhere, they are being enforced now. So we have a Lime enforcement team that comes out once a week. They've started to go around. They're monitoring two things. People that are parking Lime bikes other than the designated bays, they are going to enforce them. Secondly, the ones that break them, and you can hear that ticking sound, them. Also, as far as Lime is concerned, anybody under the age of 18 should not be riding them. So anyone caught will be prosecuted, enforced. There's a child, young person who just got community resolution order because he was stealing Lime bikes. Can't share any further information on that because he's underage as well. But he has been passed with a community resolution order. So also the judges are looking at the theft of Lime bike. When you break them and you can hear that ticking, they are going to consider that as a theft, but more the penalty is going to be more severe than a normal theft. That has also been passed. The Lime enforcement, what they're doing right now, if you park in a not in the designated bay, or if you take it, or if you're under the age, they will start fining the person whose account they're using. So the first fine is £5, goes up, and I think after 3-4 fines, they block the account. So that is in process, that they are going around Hounslow and they start to do that.
And in terms of how many bikes are in use in the bay, which is taking up parking space?
That's all they're going to monitor. So say, for example, if somebody's taken a Lime bike and parked somewhere else where it shouldn't be, they will know who was the last person used. The enforcement will follow that up.
But will bays continue to be set up even if there's no Lime bikes parked? Because I'm not quite sure.
Ask that again.
Yeah, sorry. So basically you go past the Lime bike bay, it's empty, and that is taking up local car parking spaces. So how is that being monitored? Because yes, it's all well and good about them reparking in designated bays as they should, but not all the bays have Lime bikes in them, and they're taking up parking space that local people need.
Let me go. Are you sure? I don't mind. We need to take it. Yeah. So, Rin, just to clarify, the bays, when they're empty, regardless, or you know, say they've got 1 or 2 bikes in, they're taking up a car parking space, and the question is that's not fair, and you'd like that back to a car parking space if they're underused. Yeah, if they're not being properly used by the Lime bike service. Okay, so this definitely sounds like something we need to take back to traffic for a clear response. Abdul's update is really good, but that will be the traffic team working with Lime. So if we could make a note that we need to speak to Alexandra Crush in our traffic team, and we can liaise with Lime on where we're at with that. Obviously in Councillor Cameron's update, we're Area 3, so more information on what's happening with our bays and the rollout and this, that, the other will be coming.
You know, the ones at the Mount, because they're often empty, you know. Okay. Sorry, the ones at the Mount are often... The ones at the Mount are often empty, and that's the main... The ones on the estate, it's neither here nor there, but it's just those sort of key places. key locations. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
I think that we have to recognise that the bikes are not the prop. You know, we don't have any responsibility over those bikes, and they are a nightmare of where they're dumped. But you know, they are operated not by London Borough of Hounslow. They're from outside authorities. So we've always got a problem. We're trying to get other authorities to come and deal with the problem that they're dumping on us.
Thank you, Ren. Can I give Nick the mic? Is that all right? Go on.
Just for your information, I've reported 16 abandoned light bikes in 3 weeks within a 300-metre radius of an experimental line bike parking bay. The line bike parking bay invariably is empty. It's a nightmare, as you quite rightly said, and it's also an issue that's now affecting partially sighted and disabled residents because the bikes invariably are just abandoned on the pavement. Thank you.
Just a thought popped into my head. Do Lime bikes need permission from the council to operate within the borough? Sorry.
It's all right, don't worry. Abdul? Yeah?
As a council, we have an agreement with Lime. We provide them parking spaces and they operate. But right now, there's a lot of conversation going on between some of the councillors and Lime Bike itself to whether we are trying to assess whether it's worth it, it's working for the residents, or it's not. So I believe Lime is in the process of creating a data and providing it to us to see whether it's more of a headache or if it's worth it. But we don't know any more information on that yet. So in the next maybe few weeks, few months, we'll have more of an idea.
Gideon, I think the problem is Abdul's a community safety officer, so his perspective, although fantastic, we're not traffic officers, as I said before when we did the traffic update. So these questions need to go directly to traffic. So I'm happy to take these down. You know, there's plenty of community safety officers here, community development officers and community safety. We can take these down for you and take them directly to the traffic team that work with Lime, because unfortunately the councillors don't have the answer to that either.
It was a fairly general question. In order to function within the London Borough of Hounslow, do they need council permission? I've never thought about that before. And do they actually pay for it? Do they pay the council? It may not be not within your remit, but I would have thought someone would know. I did answer that question. Oh, you did answer, sorry. Okay, my apologies.
Just to clarify, our agreement with Lime is we provide them parking spaces and they provide us the bikes. It's not Hounslow Council, anything to do with it. We don't benefit from it. It's nothing to do with it. It's just an understanding, just as we do with zip cars. It's the same kind of principle. So we give them area to park and they provide us the bikes for our residents.
So the answer to that question is, you've given them permission to have the bikes because you've created the parking spaces for the Lime bikes. So that means Hounslow Council has allowed Lime bikes in their borough.
If you wouldn't allow them, they wouldn't be in the borough.
Yes. No, but the answer to its question is you have allowed Lime bikes within the Hounslow borough because you have supplied the parking spaces for them. If you did not supply the parking spaces, Lime bikes would not be allowed in Hounslow Borough. Is that correct?
Did you understand my answer? Yeah, I think I've got the answer.
Yes. Oh, we need to use the microphone, guys.
Sorry.
I think we need to move this up.
But, so would I be right? Yeah, we need to. Exercise, Emily, that's what it is. Well, yeah, I know. So I'd be right in thinking if the council were to say, this isn't working for us, they would no longer be allowed to operate. Thank you. You've answered the question. And I've also understood you do it for the benefit of the residents, so they cycle more, and there's no financial incentive for the council. You have answered the questions. Thank you very much.
I just want to answer in my way, not your way, if that's all right. But yeah, that's fine. Thank you for your input.
Thank you so much for your input, Abdul. Team, please do come and speak to me at the end, and we will note these down for traffic, and we appreciate your input.
Right.
Next question.
Yeah, were there any other questions coming up? Yes. Of course there is.
Thank you. I emailed a question in to Jyoti. It's regarding the slip road on and off the A316, primarily going towards Twickenham and coming from Twickenham. What's the progress on the pedestrian crossings? Because nothing seems to have happened. And the 30-mile-an-hour roundel on the signpost that is at the entrance to the Muller Dairy roundabout should be moved 150 metres up the slip road, because the slip road is currently a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. I have an email from TfL dated January 2016 acknowledging there is an issue, they're looking into it, subject to funding. We are now almost 9 years down the road and nothing has happened. Surely we're not waiting for a fatality before something happens. Thank you.
I can assure you that we're not waiting for a fatality, other than the fact that it isn't in our power. Those roads are not Hounslow roads. You know, they are, especially the roads leading up, where we've got a speed coming up there, which then drops down to 20 mile an hour once you come over the top and down into Swan Road. But, you know, people don't, they don't, like, you know, I travel on that road 2-3 times a day because I can't get home without doing it.
I want to say something too.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, it is something that we have to live with, well, not live with, but it's something we do have in our problem of people who are driving up and down those roads. And it is something I have been pushing for a zebra crossing at the bottom, which is long overdue, but still not yet being put into place.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, thank you, Nick. We have an update regarding the Muller roundabout, and it's coming in the action plan update. So, yeah, thank you.
There's more questions.
Okay, I'm just listening because I see Nick often in Hanworth Park. Sorry, I'm Sharon Days from the Hanworth Ward Chair person. I just I notice I do see a lot of comments from Nick in the park, and you know, every week, daily, just bringing comments about line bikes. I'm just wondering, the reason that the line bikes came, you might be able to answer it. Were we trying to do some aim for the Hounslow area about okay, so that's one thing. Yeah, so it wasn't about sustainability or anything. The bikes aren't really being used by the residents, mostly the children, which is becoming a nuisance. Can we propose that we claim back some of our parking spaces, since it's something that we're doing as a give and take? It's not actually working as we want it to work. So we want back our parking space. How would that go forward? Would that be with you, or with traffic? It is actually with traffic. And the other thing I'm thinking, where we are noticing it, and we actually policing it. Nick's gone round to park, and he's seen so many, and other people are complaining. Are we complaining to the right persons? Where should we be complaining?
I can take that if you want. Do you want me to read? Do you want me to say it, Abdul? Or? We've got the contact.
Sorry, I was just going to say that I know the police is also aware of that. They are running operations right now. Just yesterday, I had a meeting with police. We've been told that there's a specific gang that was stealing their batteries and stuff like that and using. Apparently, 3 of the people that got caught, they've been deported back. So there has been a significant change in that. However, police is aware, our traffic is aware, our council is aware, all of us that are exactly the same concerns that you keep bringing up, we're all aware of that. Myself and my manager previously, from last year, we was trying to issue a lot of warnings around line bikes and stuff like that, but we know it's in the process, they are looking into it, so once we have an update, we will be able to give you any more information. But I have no more information on line bike other than from an enforcement point.
That's my bit. I was going to say yes. Yeah. So there is a direct reporting route, and I can send it out to you and share it with you. Absolutely fine. We'll give it to the ward panel, Sharon. A couple of the residents in the room have already got it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there is a direct email to Lyme. There is also a traffic email that you can send things to. And you can... The more we report that, you can put it on Fix My Street, and they are collected by Lyme. It goes direct, Hounslow Highways send it directly to Lyme. You can also email Lyme directly yourself. The more we raise these concerns and create a picture of the issue, the better. That's the last we're going to say on line bikes, because unfortunately between Abdul and I, we don't have any more answers. As I say, please get them down on paper for us, and we'll give them to traffic.
Yeah. Thank you, Emily. Yeah.
I've got a few more questions, councillors.
Yeah.
I have a question about, when you're coming from Winchester Road to Hanworth Road West on the special signal in the morning time, the people, when they go off the signal, and when the people coming from Winchester Road to the Hanworth Road West, the traffic is jammed. Sometimes we have to wait 2-3 times the signal to clear the traffic to turn on the Hampton Road West, turn right side or left side, and especially in the school time. If you miss 1 or 2 signals, you might be, the kids can't catch the bus, they might be lose their train. But what's the solution we have? How can we put some the junction there? We can keep clear sign there. Something we have to sort out to raise this problem.
Sorry, did you say Winchester Road?
Yes, if Winchester. When you turning from Winchester Road to Hampton Road West, there's a signal there. In the morning time, 90% is jammed. You can't turn right side or left side, either side.
Yeah, I'm asking my councillors from Hanworth Park Ward.
No, it's in
TfL. I know. Okay. So what we can do, again, is this is more than likely a TfL road, but we will take it down for traffic. And I think, as we said earlier in this meeting, a lot of the issues that come out in Hanworth tend to be traffic and they tend to be TfL. So we need to log them, we need to pass them to traffic, and then they work with Hounslow Highways and TfL to report these. There are also other ways that you can raise this directly with TfL and traffic. So again, I can give you the traffic contact and I can give you the TfL contact, so you can do it, but we can also push that forward for you and ask that question.
Thanks for your help, but as they are our local representative, we have to take up with them. At least if they raise with TfL, they have more voice, because they represent the community. Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone? All right.
Yes, I wish to follow on from the last point I raised at the last meeting in the rugby club, namely, because I have some news, it was about the obstruction of the view at the bus stop on Sunbury Way, that is in the direction of Butts Farm, when you get off there. And I raised the point, well, when I was without a car for 7 months, the way it's positioned, there's a hedge. So if you get off at the bus stop and you want to cross over to the other side of Sunbury Way, there's a hedge on your right between a tree and, well, pretty much where the slip road begins to walk up to the 290 bus stop, and that's obstructing your view. So you've really got to stick your head out to see if there's a car or a bus coming, especially, as they often do, they drive more than 20 miles per hour. Now, I raised all that at the last meeting. Emily kindly arranged for me to meet a gentleman from Hounslow Highways, which I did last Monday, because he wasn't exactly sure what I meant. He knows now what I mean, and I got an email, courtesy of Emily, whereby, and it was a bit vague, I requested that the bush be removed entirely up to the tree, but they're talking about thinning it, which is better than nothing, but it was a bit vague. I'm not sure if they are going to thin it or if they're considering thinning it. So could I just want to raise this point for the minutes. Basically, that's all. That there seems to have been some progress, but I'm not quite sure what the outcome is going to be.
Do you have anything to add to that, Emily?
Gideon, that's a really good point. I think we need to take this back to Ernest at Hounslow Highways. So, councillors, we're all CC'd. Can we please follow up with Hounslow Highways to see whether we're thinning, whether we're removing, whether we're taking 2 inches, 6 inches, just so we know exactly what's happening for residents. Because I know this has been a serious concern for sites when getting off buses and community safety. So, really valid point, Gideon. Thank you. Please note that, Jyoti. Who was first? Ronnie?
I think that lady there.
Sorry. Maggie, have you got one? Yeah. There you go.
Yes, I'd just like to know whose responsibility is it the walk signs at traffic lights. Underneath there's a vibrating button for disabled people like myself to hold on to, so they know when it's safe to walk. If those buttons aren't working, who do I report it to?
I mean, not all of the stops have those options there anyway, do they?
But if the button is there,
Yeah.
and I'm holding it and I'm waiting for it to vibrate so that I know I can walk, and it doesn't, and I stand there for 3 or 4 lights, obviously there's something wrong. So who do I report that to?
Thank you. If it's TFL road, then it's the TFL is responsible, and otherwise it's a traffic team. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
If it's TFL road, then it's the TFL is the responsible, and if it's the highways, then it's the traffic.
In particular, this week, the 2 buttons on Feltham High Street aren't working. So who would that be?
Which bus stop?
Is TFL? Yeah. Yeah, we will take it, yeah, and then update you.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. No, you're fine. You're fine. So just to reiterate, buttons when we cross the road, you've got the thing underneath which works for you because you need to be able to feel it instead of see it. On Feltham High Street, do you know particularly where? Right in the middle?
From Tesco's across to the H25 bus.
Got you. Okay. So we'll take that location and councillors. So if it's Feltham High Street, it could be Hanworth Park. If not, we'll check in with the Feltham councillors and we'll pass that forward as a member's request. Okay. So Feltham High Street, just tell me again, Tesco?
Yeah, Tesco's across to the school.
Tesco's across to the school on Feltham High Street. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Maggie. All right. You got it. You're after running. Go on. It's on, Ronnie.
Hello. It's less a question. I'm actually just signposting for residents here. So, because of the topic of roundabouts, my resident pointed out, it's regarding the Apex roundabout. So there is an application gone in to build an Aldi there in place of Homebase. So there will be nightmare traffic again on Apex roundabout. So it's probably just signposting to either not reject the application, but voice your concern on the application, or speak to the councillors about potential impacts of that application. That's all. Apex corner. So that's the application.
Cool. Any more questions?
Oh, right, okay.
Rin?
Well, you're having a chat about it up there. We're not hearing anything down here, so I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
The home base is shut. Sorry, the home base is closing, and yeah, it's going. Is that So, oh, right. So, yeah. So, I'm speaking on behalf of my friend here, who's raised a question in relation to the shops at Apex Corner. You know, you've got like the dentist and V&Ps, yeah? And there's a large pavement area which is very dangerous now. Lots of uneven paving, lots of trip hazards, lots of parking on the pavement, because now there's a lot of like delivery driver type stuff. So can the council look at that area of that sort of large pavement area outside the carpet shop by the Apex Corner, you know where Wix is, just there, and look at how to model that pavement so that it works better for the shops, the delivery drivers, the residents? Is there something that can be done to rework it a bit better and make it safer?
Yeah, I think that's something we can get looked into. It certainly is a problem I'm aware of the amount of congestion that goes on there, and the amount of pavement parking that goes on, which makes it difficult for residents to, you know, for people to walk along, because there's so many vehicles actually parked on the pavement outside the shops.
Area. It is a large pavement area. It could probably be completely modelled to suit both shops and residents, line bikes, you know, anything, you know, bus stop, whatever. I'm sure that there could be a lot, if there's some sort of investment that the council's got for street scene, maybe. You know.
The only issue there is that entire pavement is private land. It's not owned by TfL or the council. It's all private. So if you see cars parking on it, it's the owners parking on their own land, and each shop owns their own forecourt. Like the TfL owns the service road, but not the actual footway. So that's your challenge.
That's interesting. Which area is it? Cool. Any more questions? Oh, go on, Rin, sorry.
So in terms of liability, if somebody trips and falls, who does that the landowner gets sued? Yeah. All right.
So just to my awareness as well, again, you guys used to be enforcement officers, so back me up if I'm wrong, is we have this issue on Bedfont High Street as well. And when I've done, sorry, I know we're not in Bedfont, but I'll give it as an example, is the shop owners own the slabs in front, and we have pavement parking, we have broken slabs, we have all sorts of issues. If there are issues in Hounslow Borough, then health and safety can raise it with the landowner. And that is a way to make improvements, but it is the landowner's liability if something happens. To my knowledge, yep. Any more? Questions? Oh my God. Any more open forum questions? You can ask anything. It doesn't have to be about traffic. Promise you. Or line bikes.
Yeah, I have some concern about Lyndon Bennett School, because this is a specialist school, and this school like have an OT, one teacher have a staff OT, she leaves the school as well, and there's other one is language and speech therapy one. She's left and going to leave this school maybe in 2 weeks, but they don't have enough staff. How you can make sure that they have enough staff to provide the education to the kids, because they are special kids. Because I raised this question with the school as well. They say we're trying to recruit the people. Last 2 years they never have. Now they have for 6 months. After then they don't have any staff again. How are you gonna sort out this with the schools?
I think Councillor Chowdhury's got a response.
Yep, over the Councillor Chowdhury.
Thank you so much. I'm actually here, I'm Councillor Samir Chowdhury, but I'm here as a local resident and the Cabinet Member for Children's Education Employment Skills in London Borough of Hounslow. I think this is something which I'm happy to pick up with you separately. This is not something which can go through the area forum. I'm sure if councillors are happy, they can write into the school, but that's the issue which you have with school, because schools are within my remit. I'm happy to take the notes and get back to you with some sort of response on that.
Okay, thanks for your.
Don't tell me we've exhausted you all.
Sharon.
Who's dealing with that?
Sorry. So this.
Community food hall.
Sharon. Yeah, okay.
So this is Sharon from the Hanworth Community Food Larder, and she is our community spotlight today, and she's going to tell you all about the stuff that the Food Larder do at the Methodist Church in Hanworth on Butts Farm.
Good evening, residents, good evening, councillors. I'm very happy to be here today. Some of you I may have seen before, others I may not have, but it's lovely to see you today. So we are the Hanworth Community Larder, and we started before the lockdown, where those who needed additional things and couldn't get out, we would get sponsors from, mainly at the beginning it was both churches, the Hanworth Methodist Church and the Hanworth Community Seventh-day Adventist Church, which I'm one of the founders for. It's the church group we meet in the Hanworth Methodist Church. We used to meet in the Crane Park School. And so we've come together, members just give, and then we used to buy food and just go around and give groceries to those who needed it. It's then exploded. So now we have a number of partners. We have Marks and Spencer's, who give us food on a Monday night and a Thursday night. So Monday, I normally collect food. So this was collected on Monday. Beautiful, freshish. I brought it here to give to you today. So please take something for your roast dinners. What basically they have, we're saving food waste. So there's all these community, these shop stores that are after a sell-by date. There's nothing wrong with the food, because there's nothing wrong with these onions, but they, by law, are not allowed to then sell it, so they give it to charity. So we work with Scrawley, who's one of our founder partners, and they, so we collect from Kensington, and also we collect from, I can't remember the other one, is quite further down, and we collect food from them by our volunteers. So if you're able to volunteer and you have a car, or you're able to help us to give out food on a Friday at the Methodist Church, you're welcome to join us. It's a great charitable cause. And we don't just give out food, and sometimes we don't know what we're getting. So today we got like beautiful red cabbage, we've got bags of carrots, we've got bags of potatoes, and they're still hard, you know, so there's nothing wrong with them. And Marks and Spencer is quite good quality. We've got onions, we've got loads of stuff. But sometimes we, like on a Thursday, we get a lot of bread, like, you know, really nice bread. You know, the different ryes of breads. And we get sandwiches. Sometimes we get even turkeys, chicken, just loads of stuff. And whatever we get, we come down, we've got fridges, we put them to cool, we display it nicely. From 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock we're open at the Methodist Church, and we don't want to give referrals. So what I've tried to do is try to make it presentable. I do really need some more volunteers because I've had to go back to work. So I'm really counting on volunteers to I wanted it not to be someone has to refer, because I remember when I'm also disabled. There was a time when I couldn't walk and I wasn't working, and I had to go to a food bank. And I remember the sitting advisory said, okay, go down to this church. It wasn't Hanworth Church, it was another church in Sunbury. So go there, and we've told them you're coming. So I got there, and there was, you know, toothpaste and things. Sometimes we give toothpaste and toothbrushes, deodorants, because we also work with a hygiene bank. I'm just letting you know my quick story. And then I went there, and I saw some things, because I had 5 children. My husband just left me, so I was going through a divorce. I'm a teacher, I'm a head teacher at the moment, but I was a head teacher then. So I just thought, okay, it's an opportunity for me, because I was on crutches. So I started gathering some bits. And then someone just ran to me, no, you're not allowed. And I just froze and I started crying and I just thought, oh my, it was so humiliating. I don't want anyone to feel like that. People go through situations in life, and it could be any one of us for different reasons. Tomorrow you might not have it. I want you to know that this is your extended larder. And that's why the Hanworth Community Larder's name. It's your larder, but it just happens to be down the road in the church. And if you are in need of something, just pop down to the extended larder and pick up what you need. You don't need to give me your name. You don't need to tell me what you want. You just need to come. And if you see there's two, take one because someone else may want another one. And if you've got something at your house that you've got excess of, like someone gifted you maybe too many beans, you can bring a tin of beans down and put it on the shelf and someone else can use it. If you've got plastic bags, because they cost 10p in the shop. And if I have to buy bags, I'm spending £3 on bags. If you've got, and I know you've got bags at home, filling up the cupboards that your husband is saying, get rid of, please bring down to us, we need bags. Okay, that's the end. I'm just going to stop there with the larder. We open on a Friday in Hanworth from 10 till 9. Every Friday, just come along. The only other thing I want to let you know is that last year we planned a wonderful Christmas dinner. I invited you as our guest. I would love to invite some other councillors. I also so I call it a award dinner because I want you to dress fancy. Because I'm going to dress fancy, so I don't want you to feel, I had a lovely green dress on. I think this year I might wear red. Okay? I want you to dress up. We had a 3-course meal. We had free Christmas presents, beautifully decorated Christmas trees by Sarah from the Hampton Hygiene Bank. And different churches. So I have churches, I had different people gifting me. I had the Eden School give me loads of presents for children, and we are wrapping. So now we've just collecting all the presents, and they're going to be under the tree. You're going to have, you're going to do the food larder from 10 to 1, and then from 1 to 3, we're going to have a party. I've already booked the DJ, already getting our Christmas presents, and we're just going to come together as a community, cook, dance, and end the year well. It's going to be on the 20th of December from 1 to 4 at the Hanworth Community Larder and Cafe at the Hanworth Methodist Church. I want you to come along. And tonight, the only thing you need to do as a head teacher, please take your homework home. And that's take some onions, take some carrots, some cabbage. If you don't know, I can give you a recipe to make a lovely coleslaw. All you need to do is grate the red cabbage, grate your carrots. You can even do a potato salad. Just need coleslaw. You just need mayo, a little mayo, some corn, and you put that in the fridge, and it can last for about 3-4 days, and it's very healthy. Okay. So all I need, I would love some more volunteers because our volunteers have been doing it consistently. And sometimes you need a break. So if someone says, I can't do it today, I'm like, I'm really struggling. So if you can if you can't do it regularly every Thursday night, but if you can be just a one-off, like Sharon, if you do need someone, I don't mind. I've got someone who's called Fred. He's a steward from the Hanworth Methodist Church. He's my right-hand man. He's taking a break today because tomorrow night he's got to collect. But if you could just be there to help. Sometimes when we need to pack out the things and put it in the church and not decorate it, but just present it nicely for the Friday. Anything you could do, I would really love some more volunteers because I think it's a great opportunity to help people who need it. And it's not that it's anyone. Anyone could be in this situation. And it's good stuff. I take stuff home as well, because part of, we get things from Pret as well, and a lot of sandwiches and salad bowls, and we also get a lot of hygiene things. So there's some people who come along and will just take sanitary towels or toothbrushes and toothpastes because they've got an elderly neighbour who can't come out. Please, because we've got it there for them, and everyone should feel that they got a neighbour that cares. It's about us looking up for each other. So thank you for listening to me tonight.
Thank you, Sharon. Good job.
Right, if we can move on now, we've got action plan updates. I'll move on. I'm going to call Councillor Annan Joseph, who's for an update on speeding issues in Swan Bear Road, Hounslow Road, Norlhead Road and Green Lane.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. This is with regard to the speeding and traffic climbing request, which we got it. So as part of the update, this is in the Green Lane, which we had the traffic issues that we had, the speeding issues. So the update here is, having reviewed the issues raised, the network management team advised that the last speed survey was in October 2021, when average speeds were less than 20 miles per hour. Given the concerns raised, the team will commission a new speed survey for this location. Exact timing to be confirmed, but it will take place either in January 2025 or April 2025. Speed survey findings will then inform a decision on whether a vehicle activated sign, VAS, would be appropriate. That's the update. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. December 2024, property project have invited contractor to carry out the work. Are installing rock basket as shown in the photo. You may have seen today our shrubs and a silver beech tree are also being planted, and jet washing the pavement slabs is also due to happen. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, Councillor Farah.
Thank you, Chair. And Nikki, this is answer for your question is, it's a December 24 update regarding the Muller roundabout. And TfL are currently assessing options for safety improvements, but they have limited funding for road safety, and this needs to cover the whole of London. They are, however, exploring options to obtain funding for a feasibility study, and they are aware of the planning application for the Power League, which may provide some S106 funding. The on-slip would be the easier of the two tasks to achieve. Reducing the speed limit on the off-slip is more complicated, and they would also like to relocate the bus stop closer to the roundabout. And furthermore, ward councillors have meeting with the leader of the council for further discussion on how this potentially can be progressed with TfL. Thank you.
Vishnu, do you have anything on Port Lane Brook?
Thank you, Chair. Right, Port Lane Brook is a river-friendly action plan, this one. It was raised in resident in 2014. It's not only 2024. It has been raised since I elected since 2014, 2015 there, that time. So it's raised to ward councillor, and they came to in surgery as well. And then during that time also we had the ward walks. So we bring up this Port Lane Brook is a river which is no water in the river. Since then, it is a lot of things is progressing. Now we got the working group on there. Since that time to up to now, we got around 8-9 working group there. So as you can see, there are ward councillor, parks, heritage, environment agency, Thames Water, Lambton Green Space, countryside rangers, community development. These all groups are working together. The reason for we are doing this is the understanding of why flow has stopped on the local river. So we want to see the water to flow there. Possibility solution to flow rate with the partner, agencies and resident multi-agency approach. Update, we do have the update from September. We read it already in the September, and this one is the December one. Our officer, the Emily, which is very champion, and she is doing hard work for this thing and gathering all this group. So in December 2024, the Environment Agency believe they have identified the reason for both the Feltham Hill Brook and the Portland Brook experiencing low flows. This appears predominantly related to the urbanization of the area around both watercourses. These urban areas have taken rainwater drainage that would previously have flowed into the streams and have redirected it into the full sewer system, pipe it away to disconnect it, soak away, or completely diverted flow downstream. As you can imagine, unpicking this legacy of the urbanization is challenging. The Environment Agency are working closely with Thames Water to investigate the feasibility of the directing rainwater back into rivers instead of their fall network as a first step. This will clearly have environmental benefit for the watercourses, but it will also have benefit for the falls network by reducing the volume of liquid which enter sewage treatment works, thereby contributing to reducing the number of instances of storm overflow discharges, where sewage ends up in rivers because the treatment work are overwhelmed. Thames Water are currently carrying out site visit along both watercourses to investigate poorly mapped surface water drainage routes and understand how much water is flowing in various locations. This information will help us to make a decision on what our next step might be in this respect. Further information will be provided as the development permitted. Thank you.
Commissioner. Right, I've got a short update on pavement parking. Following the successful installation of bollards, we have requested the owners' contacts from the assets teams, and these will be investigated further in the new year. We hope to have an update for the Spring Area Forum in March. The requests and suggestions from residents for planters to improve the look and feel of the area where bollards have been added will have to be considered on terms of equalities, access, as they cannot block the pathway. The suggestions from residents may be something we can discuss with local groups for a funding bid for thriving communities. If you're interested in being involved, please let your councillor know. Thank you.
Swan Road, Ronnie. The bollards that have been installed, the land there, which is private land. I just wanted to say on the end of that, if you want to see these updates online, they are now on our Let's Talk Hounslow page, and I can send you the link. It's very simple. You can just pop it into Google, or you can do this little QR code if you are technically able. But you can basically just search Let's Talk Hounslow, and you just put HAF for half. So that stands for Hanworth Area Forum. So Let's Talk Hounslow, HAF. And I can give that to you at the end of the meeting. And what's going to happen is on there you'll see Area Forum Action Plan. You'll see every single titled item that the councillors have spoken about today. And there'll be this, I'll give it to you, there'll be the September update, there'll be the previous updates up there soon, but at the moment there is just December and September, and then we'll backlog them. There'll be links to minutes, there'll be links to the YouTubes, all things area forums, and you can have discussions on there about the updates, ask questions, contact us as a team. So that's a better way for us to keep track of what's going on, and you can see, you know, firsthand where those updates are coming and where they're going and things like that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Right, anything else that anybody wishes to raise while we're all here? Or are you all tired of us? Anyway, look, I really love to be able to say thank you very much to all of you for attending and for your, where you have made comments and helped on different things that have been going on here today and at other times, because at the end of the day, all of us really benefit by good neighbours, and we have many of those in Hanworth, and I'm very appreciative of that. As a person who's born and bred in Hanworth, it's something that I do appreciate, that we have those sort of residents. So thank you very much for your attendance this evening. If there's anything that you should wish to... yeah, I know, yeah. Sorry, it's all right, yeah, if there's anything that you wish to take up with any of us, then by all means do so. You will find certainly all of the councillors are listed on Hounslow Borough's list. You can contact us if you've got problems that you think you need dealing with, then we'll be happy to deal with that. Anyway, if I can now confirm the date of the next meeting. The date of the next meeting is scheduled for the 10th of March, 2025. Venue to be confirmed. Have we got that yet?
If you're happy to, actually, we are confirmed here. So if you're happy for it to be here, we do have a booking already here.
I am, but it's the residents.
This is the most central location for the both wards.
Yeah, it's
and it has
good.
parking and all sorts of other things. But if you have suggestions for venues, we are more than happy to try them. As you know, we were at Staines last time, and that was a bit of trial and error. We've been at the Village Hall. That's much trickier to book because there's a regular dance class. But we are always open to resident suggestions. Always welcome to resident suggestions for venues if you have any. Is that okay, Councillor?
Yep.
Can I just say about the feedback? Again, you've got your feedback forms in front of you. A lot of people sometimes ask for us online. We have got a QR code again to save us emailing them to you. So if you are QR able, you can do an online form for feedback. We really, really appreciate your feedback, so thank you very much. Anyone who wants to come and ask me for links, give me information, please do speak to the community development officers. Hands up. Amoy and I are here in the room, and Chris is just outside, and we will take your details. Thank you.
Thank you all, and keep well and keep safe. And we'd love to see you here at the next meeting.
Thank you, Chair.
Next meeting is the 10th of March.
Yep.
What am I saying?